just play was Für Elise by Ludwig van Beethoven. He was a very influential and astounding pianist and orchestrator, but I'm not here to give you a history lesson on him. I'm here to teach you how to play piano. And the first thing you need to know is to have proper posture when you're playing the piano. You need to have your back straight and be upright as if you're sitting in a chair. Although you do not have a back, you only have a bench. So, with that out of the way, you also need to know that your palms and your forearms should be parallel with the ground while you are playing. And you need to have your fingers curled only slightly. This will allow you to position your hands accordingly on the piano as you are playing them. So now you need to know that your thumb through your pinky is referred to as 1 through 5. And each key on the keyboard is a letter between A and G. Now A is the first key on the keyboard, and it is also the letter to the left of the far black key in the set of 3 black keys. And then each white key going up from that is the next letter of the alphabet. So it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. This key is referred to as middle C. And the reason you do not refer to any other key, like A or G, as middle A or middle G, is because this key is part of the C major scale, which is the most simple major scale because you are pressing all of the white keys in between this C and this C without pressing any of the black keys. So a C major scale would go as follows. Now you may have noticed that after playing E, I switched back and then continued playing the scale, and then the same going back down. The reason for this is because we have 5 fingers and there are 8 keys to play. So after playing 3, you switch over and you continue down, or you continue up and then you go back down. Now every major scale has the same amount of steps, and there are 2 types of steps. There is a half and a full step. A half step means you go from one key to the very next, and then a full step means you are skipping over a key. Now you can skip over white keys and go to black keys, and that is where the other major scales come into play. But first, a major scale goes full step, another full step, a half, a full, 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 half, and then you go back down again. If you play A major, for example, you go full step, half, full, 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 half, and then you go back down again. So, when you are playing A major, you skip over C and you go to this key, which is referred to as either C sharp or D flat. A sharp is a half a step up from one key, and a flat is a half a step down from a key. So each black key is named either a sharp or a flat. Now, you should never refer to B, C, E, and F as C flat or B sharp, and then F flat or E sharp. They are referred to as their letter, and the black keys are referred to as sharps or flats. Now that you know how to play major scales, you know proper posture, and you also know where the keys are on the keyboard, as well as what numbers your fingers are, you need to know how to play sheet music. Now, each sheet music has two clefs. You have a treble and a bass clef. This symbol represents a treble clef, and then this symbol represents a bass clef. Now, I have prepared a visual. Obviously, these are not the exact same as the two clefs I was originally referring to, but this represents the treble and this represents the bass clef. Now, each black line refers to a line on sheet music, and each blue line refers to a space in between the two black lines. Now, the first line on the treble clef is the letter E. So the key you are going to play is this E in particular, if the note falls on that line. Now, if you go a step up, you are playing F, and then this is G, A, B, C, D, and then back to E. And it works the same way, alternating between lines and spaces on here. On the bass clef, however, you are starting at G. The bottom line refers to this G right here, and then this G. And then once again, each white key going up is the next letter, going up to this A. Now, if you go beyond each clef, for example, right here, you go below the treble clef. The E line is the bottommost line, and then you'll notice on the note itself, there's a small line going through it. That means you are going two notes down from the E, because you have to remember there is a space. So you go two notes down from E and you're at middle C. So that note refers to middle C. And you'll notice that there is a 1 underneath it. That means you should be using your right hand and the number 1, which is your thumb, as we referred to play middle C. And then the 2 is on E, so you play 2. And that is how you read sheet music. Now that you know how to posture yourself, what keys are where on the keyboard, your numbered fingers, as I refer to them, and how to read sheet music, you now know how to learn piano. And over time, you will learn what all of these symbols mean, like these two numbers here, or the two words above the start of the song, or these two letters right there. You will learn all of that over time. But to learn these things, you need to practice, and you need something to teach you. I prefer, or I recommend, that you use Piano Adventures by Nancy and Randall Faber, level 1 to start, and then you can go up from there. I use these books to help myself learn piano, and I would highly recommend anyone else playing piano to use them as well. And once you have completed all of the books, you can start learning true sheet music, which is songs by their original creator, like Für Elise by Beethoven. That is the conclusion of this video.